So you can't be dehydrated and be a functioning student. I really hope that one day that people will realize that clean running water is a human right, not a privilege. Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ali and I talk about everything low waste, zero waste, eco-friendly, and as long as it pertains to saving the environment, I will talk about it. Today we're going to be talking about going back to school zero waste, whether you're in high school, elementary school, middle school, or college. I really would have appreciated these tips growing up as a student, and now that I'm not in college and I know these tips, I don't really get to use them until I have kids of my own and send them to school. I just wanted to show those of you who are students that you can still live an eco-friendly lifestyle and still get great grades. So without further ado, let's get started. So my first tip would be to use what you have. So a lot of us don't finish our notebooks, still have pens and pencils laying around, still have markers laying around. So I would suggest to use what you already have laying around before you go buy something new. Try to give your things as much life as possible, and that way we won't be in a wasteful linear economy. Moving on to actual school supplies, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the typical pencil. So I know a lot of us use mechanical pencils, and they're the really cheap ones that come in big packs and are so easily replaceable that we lose them all the time because we know they're so easily replaceable. I suggest investing in a metal mechanical pencil. They're called graphing pencils. Architects use them, and they're really high quality. They're gonna last you a very long time. I personally find that when you've invested in something, you tend to use it a lot, and when you use it a lot, you grow an attachment to it and you love it and you take even more care of it. So really invest in good quality school supplies that will last you a long time, and you'll never really have to buy new school supplies again. Now, if you're not a mechanical pencil person, then wooden pencils will do just fine for you. If you don't want to use ones made from virgin trees, I suggest looking into wood that has been recycled. These really cool ones that have seeds at the top, and when you're finished with that pencil, you can put it into the ground and the seeds will sprout, something like basil or tomatoes. So the theme of pencils, there are recycled newspaper colored pencils that you can get. They look like this. And there are plastic-free highlighters that look like this, which are basically neon wooden colored pencils. But they're a little more waxy and they're very, very neon, so you can use them as highlighters. But if you're more comfortable with conventional highlighters, there are ones that look like this, made from recycled plastic. So yeah. In the writing utensil department, we're going to talk about pens. Pens are kind of wasteful because a lot of them are plastic, but there are pens that you can just refill the ink cartridges and keep using the body of the pen, if that makes sense. Or there are fountain pens where you can just get an inkwell and refill whenever you need. Similarly, in elementary school, I remember we had notebooks for every subject and we had folders for every subject, and we barely made a dent in those notebooks, which is pretty stupid. And they all had to be different colors according to the subjects, and I just think that's insanely wasteful. So if you barely made a dent in your last year's notebook, just cut out the pages for that one and reuse it, take the stickers off, whatever, and reuse it. If your folders are still good, reuse those. Like I said, please use what you have. They're not single use, and they don't have to be single use until you throw them away. Please give your things as much life as you possibly can until they crack, they break on you, and then you can dispose of them properly. When you're going for notebooks, please don't go for the ones that have the plastic cover and the spiral on them. Please go for the ones that are actually bound, not with a spiral, like your regular composition book. And if you want to take it a step higher, go for the decomposition book. So decomposition notebooks are 100% post-consumer recycled paper, and the lines and the grids of these notebooks are printed using soy ink. So you can throw them in the compost once you're done. The step up from your regular composition book. So yeah, composition books look like this. They're a little more expensive, but again, if you don't use them all, you can just cut out the pages, compost those, and just keep using the same notebook. Being a recent college graduate, textbooks were really important for me, especially with my major. And I was never the type to be able to read them on an electronic device and just take notes with that. I was never the type. So what I would do is I would buy textbooks secondhand from people who were in my major, from whoever took the class, or at a discounted price, you can get a used textbook from your school's bookstore. A low-waste way for textbooks, though, is using it electronically, but if you're not the type to use it, then you're not the type. Last section of this video touches on food, and I know food is a very touchy subject because it's based on privilege and socioeconomic class and all of that stuff. So the first thing I would say is check your privilege. If you have the privilege to pack your own food and you have the privilege to buy stasher bags and beeswax wraps, really I suggest it, because a lot of school lunches are not very nutritious at the moment, at least from my personal experience. Maybe they've gotten better since I was in high school, middle school, elementary school, but in my opinion they weren't very nutritious. A lot of families rely on the school lunches to feed their kids, and you know, that's really heartbreaking, and I hope one day everyone can just afford good, healthy food, but in today's society that is not happening, and many people live in food deserts. But again, please check your privilege, and if you're not the person that this applies to, I'm not shaming you, I'm not blaming you. Do what you have to do to get food in your kids' tummies, in your tummy. And if you have the privilege to pack your own food and make it nutritious and to do something good for the environment, please do so. And if you still have the privilege to do something nice for others, please do so. So you can't be dehydrated and be a functioning student. So again, if you don't live in an area where clean running water is accessible to you that you can put in a reusable water bottle, I'm not blaming you, I'm not shaming you. I really hope that one day that people will realize that clean running water is a human right, not a privilege. Yeah. But if you have access to clean running water and you can put it in a reusable water bottle and you still haven't done it yet, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure you have reusable water bottles lying around that you get from free events. You don't have to buy the nicest reusable water bottle. Just use whatever you have. I really hope this pandemic will be over soon, and so that everybody can just see each other and interact, and students can interact with their teachers and teachers vice versa. And I really hope that you guys have a great school year, semester, whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm so sorry that the last few points were a little sad and a little like cynical, but I really hope you guys have a great school year, semester. If you want to see more of my face and my eco-friendly tips, please like and subscribe down below, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!